64th Street. A Detective Story is an arcade beat 'em up game developed by C.P. Brain and released by Jaleco in 1991. The game takes players to a crime-ridden city where two private detectives, Rick Anderson and his younger partner Alan Toombs, are tasked with rescuing a kidnapped woman named Sophie. The journey unfolds across various levels, filled with street thugs and criminal masterminds. Creation and inspiration. The game's developer, C.P. Brain, was a smaller team that worked with Jaleco, a well-known Japanese company that had produced other successful arcade titles. 64th Street. A Detective Story is heavily inspired by popular beat 'em up games of the time, such as Final Fight and Double Dragon, which had set the standard for the genre. The gritty urban setting and tough detective characters were likely influenced by action movies and crime dramas popular in the late 80s and early 90s. The game stood out because of its mix of beat 'em up action with a detective theme. Rick and Alan, as detectives, fought their way through a variety of street environments and indoor settings to uncover the mystery behind the kidnapping. Players used a combination of punches, kicks, and grabs to defeat enemies, while also being able to interact with the environment by throwing opponents into objects. Game reception. When 64th Street, A Detective Story was released in arcades in 1991, it faced tough competition from other more established games in the beat 'em up genre. While it wasn't a major hit like Final Fight, it gained a cult following among arcade enthusiasts for its engaging combat mechanics and the fun cooperative gameplay that allowed two players to team up. However, in terms of broader acceptance by gamers, 64th Street, A Detective Story didn't achieve the same level of success as some of its more well-known counterparts. This was likely due to the crowded field of similar games during that era and the fact that it didn't bring any revolutionary new mechanics to the table. Despite this, it had solid graphics for its time and a soundtrack that added to the overall detective noir atmosphere of the game. Over time, the game became a bit of a forgotten title, especially as home console ports of other arcade hits became more popular. However, in recent years, with the rise of retro gaming and the resurgence of interest in classic arcade titles, 64th Street, A Detective Story has found a new audience. The game was eventually included in retro gaming collections and emulators, allowing a new generation of players to experience it. In summary, 64th Street, A Detective Story is a classic beat 'em up with a detective twist, created by C.P. Brain and Jaleco. Although it didn't reach the heights of other games in its genre, it remains a fond memory for fans of arcade games from the early 1990s. If you liked the video, subscribe, like, and write to me in the comments, what do you want to be the next arcade game that we will learn the story of? Until next time, be well.